everybody. Cathryn Hartt here of the Heart and Soul Studio, the unacting coach. I got a question for you today. Yeah, I usually have a question for you, so I guess that's not a surprise. Here's the question. When do you actually start acting? Is it as soon as they say action? Wrong. I have an old saying, and I say this to classes and private people a lot. I can tell if you're a good actor before you ever start talking. Good rule of thumb, always start acting before they think you're going to start the scene. Why? Because the best thing you can do as an actor is to be real, is to be truthful. So if you wait till they say action and then you start doing stuff, it's like I'm almost a real person and then I start to laugh and have a good time. No. You are going to start acting before the scene starts. Like if you come in the door, you start acting before you open the door to come in. So you're in the middle of something when you actually come in. So the best thing that you can do on camera, and I say this to you guys a lot, is to be spontaneous. Anything real on camera looks fabulous. So, I had a class in one of my on-camera classes a few weeks ago, and in my 6 weeks classes, in my on-camera classes, I always change up every 6 weeks. I give us a different theme to use for that 6 weeks, so I can keep poking and prodding you and torturing you in all different areas, and so hopefully you never get bored and you always keep growing. So, last 6 weeks, I decided that the basic theme would be doing your prep before you do your scene. Now, sometimes I teach you guys to prep, and it's basically I need to get into my body before I start acting, because that's when you get into that balanced, cool place where you're in a heightened state of awareness, relaxed. And you're in your body, I'm feeling with my senses, and I am just observing and I'm aware and I'm affected by everything around me. So of course you want to get into that balanced, clear space. Again, what I call your creative zone or the zone. You need to get there before you ever start doing any acting. But besides that, you should also take a moment to get in the state of being that your character actually is in when the scene starts. So of course you'd have to know what's really going on, what just happened that pushed my buttons that causes me to want to do and say whatever I'm going to when the camera comes on. Because if I'm not already in the middle of something, it looks like I just started living when the camera comes on. Now think of being on camera sort of like I'm living my life, walking along, and all of a sudden there's a candid camera there and I don't know it's on, and it starts to capture what's going on. It's very edgy. It's sort of, I don't want to see the acting. That's why I call it unacting, because it's not that you don't use any technique. Of course you do. Hey, guys, I'm a Juilliard trained actress. Trust me, I use technique. I do classics and stuff, but I don't want to see the technique. I don't want to feel it. It should be seamless. The reason we learn all the technique is to push our buttons to cause us to be able to set ourselves free and trust that your character is strong and powerful and rich and deep enough that they can start to do it for you. And all the bits of business and everything, you've rehearsed everything enough so that you can let go of it. That's why we rehearse, so that you can set yourselves free when you actually perform. So here's the deal. Let's say your scene is that you're supposed to be very angry. At the beginning of the scene, you're already in the middle of something and you're yelling at someone. So you don't just start yelling at them when that first line happens, because it won't really be angry. You can't just say, I'm really mad at you. It's like, okay, I kind of believe it, but I kind of don't. Instead, what you want to do before then is you want to physically and emotionally push all the buttons you can to cause yourself to really get angry. We don't fake anything as an actor, except, of course, killing people. We really don't do that. But you don't fake your emotions. You try to find the right buttons to push to cause an actual emotion to happen. That's why it's so much fun. It's a little more dangerous than just saying lines I memorized. So, You can either physically, and I highly recommend physically getting yourself there, because once you are physically there, first of all, you're in your body, so your character has a chance to live and breathe. But when you physically do things, it causes your brain to sort of come to life and start releasing all the chemicals in your body that it actually releases when you're having a real emotion. So if you're angry at the beginning of the scene, you want to stomp around, do a bunch of push-ups, like yourself, pound your fist. I walk around cursing, but of course, if you're too young to do that and you don't believe in cursing, of course, don't do that. But that's what I do. So I'm going around, yeah! Now, if I have someone that really can't get there by, or if it's a really powerful scene, or I'm doing an audition tape, and I gotta have you there right now, I will actually say, I'm gonna turn the camera on, and I just want you to scream bloody murder, and then you'll say the lines, like this. Ah! I'm so mad at you! Because it will actually make your face turn red, your veins will start to pop out. Your blood is pulsing. You're probably wishing I didn't do that right now, but I'm sorry, I didn't warn you. My microphone's even having a worse time of it. And my dogs, Boo and Atticus, are probably going like, oh, it's Mommy just being herself again. So you want to really get yourself in the state of being. So, and if you do that, trust me, the rest of the scene is a piece of cake. If you really get into the state of being that your character is in at the beginning of the scene, they start doing it for you. And you just get out of the way and stop puppeteering them and making them have reactions. You set them free and allow the character to start doing stuff. It'll almost seem like, I didn't even know what I did. But of course you say the lines, you hit your marks, you do all the bits of business because it's already in your blueprint, in your imagination, if you just stop thinking about it. Okay, now let's say you have to be sad. Well, of course you would be sad as slow. So you need to calm yourself down. It's kind of droopy also, so, kind of. And I suggest if you're going to be sad, you might even start by sighing at the beginning, because sighing, anytime you vocalize, you breathe, and you do things that are real to your body, again, you physicalize it, and your body starts to actually feel as if it's really there. So things kind of droop. Usually if we're really sad, we kind of protect ourselves and get in we talk quieter. And we make it just sometimes you don't look at people in the eyes a lot. Okay, now, in that 6 weeks of classes I was just talking about, and I've done this on my webinar too, I said, tonight's class, you're going to have to get into the state of being of really laughing, having a good time, hearty har har. And everyone's going like, oh, this is going to be so easy, Miss Hart. That is so easy. And I'm thinking, not really. Because what I find most people have the hardest time doing is just having a good time and laughing when I say, action. And I do this in my commercial classes all the time. In the beginning of the commercial, when you're right about to go, I usually start to make you laugh, and then I say action. And I get people doing this. I'll just be laughing. And I say action, and they go, hello, I'd like to sell you something. And I go, no, I wanted you to start laughing. Oh, okay, that's why I got you really laughing. And you'll notice a good director will do that a lot, where they'll get you in the middle, you're really doing something, you say action, because you're really there. And that's what we do for ourselves. That's the part of acting. That's what you start doing before you ever start acting. On camera, you start doing stuff to cause yourself to be real, so that when they capture that, it's real. And that is the acting. Don't start and then stop to start acting. So then I'll make them laugh again, and they laugh. And then I say action, and they stop again and go, I'd like to sell you something. No. I get very active and very loud in my classes, so sometimes I'll scare the heck out of you, but we have a good time. So I say, no, I wanted you to be I was making you laugh and everything, and then they finally get it. And then I start making them laugh, and they just start laughing. So I'd really like to just sell you something. So I hope you don't mind. so that we're capturing someone that's truthful and real instead of someone that's like, trying to sell you something, which of course is what we're really trying to do. Now, so I had a class recently where I made everyone start laughing. That was the deal, and you had to laugh hysterically, contagiously throughout the entire commercial audition. It was a 2-person audition, and one poor guy was just, he went beyond the call of duty. You know who you are. And because it was an odd number of people in class and he needed 2 people in each scene, he did it twice. So he had 2 partners. So after rehearsing for about 20 minutes with each partner, and then shooting, and when I shoot with you in my classes, I don't go, oh good, that was it, you're done. I go like, wait, stop, do this again. Wait, stop, do it again. No, wait, stop. So I kind of drive you crazy until you really get there. So this poor guy, after 45 minutes of hysterical laughing, not only was his face bright purple, but his eyeballs were red too. I thought he was going to have a stroke. I even asked, do you need to take a little break here for a second? And he's, no, he was a trooper. And he didn't have a stroke. I was so glad because he would have sued me. But he was laughing hysterically. And once you get that hysterical laughter is very contagious. You want to start the laughter kind of small. Don't just like, ha, ha, ha. Maybe try to think of something funny. And then you kind of, and I would suggest that you talk while you're laughing, because when you try to talk and you're laughing, it's kind of contagious too. So if you start, just kind of little, and you start thinking about something really stupid, and then you try to talk about and so you just kind of, the laughter will feed on itself and you just kind of start pushing your buttons. And again, I recommend trying to say a line while you're laughing too, because it'll make you feel even dumber, which will make you laugh even more. Anyway, so after being angry and sad and laughing, okay, I'm done. But let me remind you, before you start your scene, you must know exactly what's going on, what's pushing your buttons, where you are, create that reality so that you're in the middle of something. And this is for auditions too. You're in the middle of doing something for real, and you really get your body and your mind, everything in the state of being before they roll that camera, before they say action, so that you just roll into it and don't change anything as you start to, really start the scene there. Okay, I'm done. Oh, and Boo and Atticus say, we love you. And I would let them come out, but they would, of course, knock down the camera trying to say that. So, see ya.